Hello students, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So please tell me if am disconnected. Please WhatsApp me if I'm disconnected, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll start with today's session. So PPT is visible, this PPT. Guys, is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in the previous sessions, we had seen about list and we had seen about dictionaries. So now we'll come to the third chapter in this particular module, that is manipulating strings. Okay. So we have three chapters in this particular module. So this is our last one. So under this, people are still joining. So, in the previous modules, we had seen about string. Then we had also seen about the plus operator through which you can concatenate string. So, in this particular module, we are going to see something more. Okay. So, in this, we are going to see how you can add some space to string or remove some spacing, or how you can convert lowercase to uppercase, and how you can get a string from string values. All these things we are going to see in this particular module. Other than this chapter, other than this, there are two programs that is given as programming projects. That is, one is a simple password manager, and the next program is to automate the boring core of formatting pieces of text. So we'll see those programs later. So first we'll begin with the starting part, that is manipulating strings. Okay, so we'll just go ahead. So in the previous sessions, we had seen how you can represent a string in case of Python. So we had seen that strings can be written within a single quote, right? So this is what we had seen, that is a string represented within single quote. But what happens in this case is, now if you want this apostrophe s, okay, so here you can see here, uh, within the single quote you have written that is Alice. So after Alice there is a apostrophe s, that is nothing but again a single quote. Okay, and after that you have written cat. So actually what is it? This entire thing is a string which you have written inside the single quote. But within the string you are again using a single quote. So in that case what happens is, Python will treat this as and what as useless code. So what does Python do is, Python will treat only this much, that is Alice, that is Alice, only this much part will be treated as your string, and after the apostrophe what s you have and cat, this will be treated as an invalid code. Okay, so that is a drawback what we are seeing here. That is what we want to say here is, inside whenever you are representing a string within single quote, within that string you cannot put a one more single quote. So if you put a single one more single quote, then that will be the end of that particular string. So that's what we had seen in the previous model, that is a string always begin and end with a single quote. So what happens in this case, it is beginning over here, so after it is starting, then you have that is Alice, and after e you have put a single quote. So Python will treat this as a string. Okay, so Python will treat this as the end of your string. So whatever you have written after this single quote, that will be treated as an invalid code. Okay, so that is a thing what happens. So we'll just see how it is. So I'll write. So just see here, we have written the same example. So that is Alice. So just see what happens. So you can see here, this is told as an invalid syntax. Because why? So this, after this single quote, whatever you have, that is treated as an invalid code. But there are some solution. What is that solution? We will see. That is, there are multiple ways to type string. So what are those different ways? That is, you see in the next example. So here what we are doing, that is, instead of single quote we will write it inside double quote. Okay, so in this case you just see what happens. So the same example, we'll write it inside double quote. So in this case what happens, I've just copy pasted so it's coming like this. Okay, so just see what happens in this case. Now I'll just see what is there in spam. So you can see here that apostrophe, whatever single quote you had, put it within the string, that is accepted. So this entire thing is treated as a single string. So you remember, strings can be represented inside single quote or it can be represented inside double quote. But what is the drawback when you're using single quote is, within that single quote it's not possible for you to put one more quote in this kind of situation. That is apostrophe s, that is wherein you're using a single quote. In that case, that will be treated as the end of the string. After that, whatever you have written, that will be a illegal or invalid code. Okay, so instead of going for single quote, you can also go for double quotes. So that will be helpful whenever you are in this kind of situation. Okay. Other than that, you can also go for escape characters. So we have already learned about escape characters in your lower semesters. So what are these escape characters? Escape characters allows us to use characters which otherwise wouldn't be possible to put inside a string. So in this case, one is, we said double quotes can be used wherein this apostrophe can be there, or other way, if you want to use single quotes itself. In that case, if you want this apostrophe to be printed, then what you can go for? You can go for this escape characters. So just see here, just see this example. You are representing the string in single quotes itself, but you're using the escape characters. Okay, you're representing in single quotes, you're using single quotes itself to represent your string, but over here you're using this escape character, that is backslash. Okay, backslash followed by that you have used a single quote. So in that case what happens, this single quote, or in our case you can say apostrophe, will be printed as it is. That is the advantage of using this escape characters. So the concept is same what you have learned in your lower semesters. Okay, so if you want these kind of characters to be printed, then you can go for escape characters. So in this case what happens, even though you have used a single quote, this uh, after Bob, that is the quote what you have, that will be printed as it is. So you can see here, say hi to Bob's mom. So it is printed as this. You can use other characters, escape characters also. So if you want this table, you can see here backslash followed by double quote. So you can write double quotes also. So we'll just see. So instead of single quote, if I'm putting double quotes here, now I'll just check out the content of spam. So you can see here, instead of Bob, this single apostrophe is converted into this double quote. Okay. So this way you can represent the string in different ways. Either you can go for single quote. So when you're going for single quote, this was a drawback. So to overcome that, either you can go for escape characters or you can use double quote. Okay. So this is about your double quotes as well as escape characters. Next, we'll go to other concept. Before that, one more example we have. We'll just see. Just see this example. So just see here. Print hello there, and after that you have used the slash n. So just see here. we can use this slash n, that is another escape characters. So we know what is the meaning of slash n, whatever the same thing what you have learned in your lower semester. So slash n is nothing but the new line, it brings the details after that slash n in the next line. Okay, so we'll just see. So what are the escape characters you have used here? One you have used is slash n, one more slash n you have used, and we have used one more escape character for printing apostrophe. Okay, that is single quote you can say. So this is how your details will be displayed. So you can see here I am. So here the single quote is been displayed. Okay, so these are the different ways of how you can represent a string. Other than that, next thing you have a concept called as raw string. So what is this raw string? So we can place, we'll just see with an example. So you can see here, um, before the beginning of the quotation, you are using the character R, which is representing a raw string. Okay, so you can see here, we can place R before this quotation mark of a string. So that will make what is called as a raw string. So what is a raw string? Raw string completely ignores all the escape characters and prints any backslash that appears in the string. So what does it do? It is going to ignore your escape characters. So what do you mean by escape characters? Escape characters are only doing their job. It won't be printed, right? That's the same thing what you have learned in your lower semesters also. If you're saying slash n, what does slash n do? The corresponding action of slash n is to bring your cursor to the next line. Slash n won't be printed as it is, right? Only the corresponding action will be done. But if you are using this R, that is raw string. If you're using this R before the quotation mark, that is your beginning of your string, in that case what happens is that escape characters will be printed as it is. Okay, that is what they're saying here. It completely ignores all the escape characters and prints any backslash that appears in the string. So it will be printed as it is, not its action, but it will be printed as it is. So you can see here, that is Carol's cat. Actually, you had used this escape character, right? So previously we said if you are using this apostrophe only will be there. But now along with the apostrophe, the backslash character is also there. This is because you have used the extension or the letter R, which is representing raw string. The purpose of raw string is to ignore the escape characters and print it as it is. That is about raw string. Next we'll go for multi-line strings with triple quotes. So when you use a slash and escape character to put into a new line into a string, it is easier to use. Instead of this, you can also go for multi-line strings. So multi-line string in Python begins and ends with either three single quote or three double quote. Okay, so what we are telling, instead of using that slash in, we can go for multi-line strings. So how you are representing this multi-line string? Either you can have three single quotes or you can have three double quote. Any quote or tab or new lines that is written between this triple quotes or three single quotes, they are considered as part of the string. So anything you are writing within that, that is nothing but they are the part of the string. So in this case, Python's indentation rule for blocks do not apply to lines inside the multi-line. So we know, we have also seen many example wherein indentation is given at most important in Python, right? So if you're writing for and whatever is there inside the body of that for, that should be given some space so that it is representing it is within that particular block. So all those were given more importance. But whereas in case if you're going for multi-line string, that is not given, or you can say indentation rules for blocks do not apply for the lines that is written inside the multi-line string. So again we'll see an example. So here we have, so just see here we have used three single quote. Okay, After that we have Alice. So this is nothing but it is representing a multi line. So three single quotes, or you can have three double quotes also. Okay. So you can see here the details are displayed this way. Otherwise, what you should have written, you should write a slash and you should write the entire thing in a single line. But if you have written like this, you can write it Dear Alice in one line, and next you can give Eve's cat in the next line. But if you're not using this three single quote, if you're using only one single quote, then the entire statement should have been written in a single line over here. Okay, in your ideally. Otherwise, it will say an error. So that is the advantage of going for this multi-line strings. Okay. One more example is given to you. So just see here. Okay. So next, okay. Next, we'll go to comments. That is how you can write comments in Python. So previously we had seen some example wherein we are using hash. So here I had written uh, in this section wherein we are writing hash as comment. So other than that hash, we can also go for what is called as multi-line comment. So while hash marks the beginning of a comment for the rest of the line, a multi-line string is often used to comment that span multiple lines. So if you want, so you're beginning with the comment section here. So just see here. So this way, if you want the comment to span to multiple lines, then you can write it this way. So you can see here, you have used three double quotes and you have written in multiple lines. So this way also you can represent the comments. Okay. So how it will be, that is this and S is in a next line. Then in the next line you have A. That is nothing but it will be stored this way with the new line character. Okay. So that is about multi-line comment. So instead of hash, you can also go for double quotes. Okay, three double quotes. Next concept, we are going for indexing. So about indexing, we have already learned in the previous modules, that is previous chapter in list. So we said that the elements, whatever you're entering, it will be stored in the form of index. Now in array, how you have index. Similarly, in the list also, you have the index. So this is how it will be stored. So if you specify an index, you will get the character at that particular position in the string. So suppose you say 0, then in that 0 you have H. Suppose you say 5, there you have a space. Suppose you say 11, then you have a exclamatory symbol. Okay. So strings use indexes and slices. They are using this in the same way how we had done in list. So about slicing also we have already learned in list, wherein you're telling from 0 colon 5. So if you're saying 0 colon 5, the meaning of that is you're going, what will be extracted is HELL and O. That is still 4, it will be extracted. So that was already seen in list. So the same thing can be done in strings also. Okay. So if you specify a range from one index to another, the starting index is included and the ending index is not included. Yes. Okay. So if you're saying slicing as, who is that? Suleiman, where are you roaming?
अम्मी को गार्डन एग्जैक्ट देखते मामी नो एक दासी लेकर खाई कर बोली ने उन्होंने रोज रोज दासी
Okay. Please mute your mic, okay? All of you. So where were we? Okay. So what we were saying for slicing, if you're saying 0 to 5, then the characters which will be extracted is HELLO, that is up to 4. Okay, so we'll see that with some examples. So this is same thing what we have already seen in list. Some example here. So if I'm saying in spam, I have hello space, followed by that I have a exclamatory symbol. Okay, so if I'm telling spam of 0, if I say spam of 0, then what is the corresponding character I should get? In spam of 0, I will be having H. So I should get H. Similarly, if I say spam of 5, then the corresponding character I should get is a space. So you can see here a space is displayed there. Similarly, we also have something called as negative indexing, in which it will start from the last. So in that case, if you give -1, it should start from last. So for that purpose, you have an exclamatory symbol here. If I'm giving spam of -2, it is last but 1. Sorry. If I give spam of -2, then it will be last but 1. So wherein you have D. So these are what is called as the indexing, which we had seen in list. So the same thing is also there in your string. So if you're giving 0 to 5, in that case what happens? Starting from the 0th index, that is H, it will go up to 4th index. 5 won't be included. Okay, so you can see HELLO is displayed. Similarly, if you give spam of, so this is nothing but, this is called as a slice. So whenever you're giving range, that is nothing but, it is called as slice. Okay, so now what you're doing, starting index you have not told, but you're telling till where it should go. That is nothing but it is equivalent to 0 to 5. So remember, 0 to 5, when you say, it will go from 0 to 4. The fifth index position is not included. Similarly, you are specifying the starting index, but the last one you're not telling. So in that case, what happens? So from the sixth position till the last character, it will be displayed. Okay, so this is what we are speaking about slice. I hope you're following. Guys, are you there?
yes ma'am.
Okay.
Yes ma'am.
Okay. Now the same thing, the slicing part, you can also assign it to some other variable. So I'll just give some variable name as fizz, and I'll write the slice this way. So you can see spam of 0 to 5, that is nothing but what will be there? Hello will be there. That you're loading it into, or assigning it into another variable called as fizz. So suppose now we'll just check what are the contents of this. So you can see hello is been stored there. Okay. So this is what you have to tell for indexing and slicing a string. Next one you have is in and not in operator. So again, this in and not in operator also you have seen in list. So in list you have seen this. So when you say in, this particular operator is going to return true if whatever value you have passed is there in the string. There in list you had learned as, if that particular item is there in the list, then it is going to return true. If that particular item is not there, then it is going to return false. Similarly, not in, what does it do? Whatever item you have given, if it is there in the list, then it is going to return false, otherwise it is going to return true. So the same operator is also used in string. Concept is also same. Okay, so the in and not in operator are used with string, just like how we have used with list values. An expression with two string joined using in or not in will evaluate to boolean true or false. So the return type here will be either it is going to return a true or a false value. These expression test whether the first string can be found in the second string. Whether the why today all of you are owning your mic? Any? Hmm? Okay. So what is happening here? This expression test whether the first string can be found in the second string. We'll just see with an example. Okay. So hello in. So you're checking. So we are using. We are seeing the example for the in operator. So you are checking whether hello is there in your string hello world. So it is case sensitive. So here if it is uppercase, even in the string also it should be in uppercase only. So if it is there, it is going to return true. Now same thing we'll give in we'll give like this. It is there in hello world. Now in this case you see it is going to return a false value because here you have given in lowercase but in the string it is stored in uppercase. So for that purpose the exact string that is it should be or it is case sensitive. Okay. Other than that, some other example next we'll see for not in. So you can also give just a space and see. So you can see here we checked for a space. We are checking whether space is there in hello world. So it's there, it's going to return a true value. So similarly we can check for not in also. Cats not in. So I'll give cats not in hello world. So you are searching for, you're checking whether cats is there in hello world. So it is not in. Not in means what? Cats are not in hello world. Yes, it is true. Cats are not there in hello world. But same thing if you're giving. So now if you're giving hello is not there in hello world, now in this case what it should do? It should return a false value because hello is there in hello world. You are using the operator not in. So not in is going to return true if it is not there. But now in this case it is there. So it is returning a false value. So this is about your the in and not in operator. So if you're getting a question for working with string, you should write all this. Okay. So for working with string, you should tell about string literal, double quote. So in string literal, what is the drawback? If you're using single quote, then in between again you cannot use a single quote. If you're using it, it will be treated as the end of your string. So after that, whatever your written, that will be an invalid quote. So one solution is you can go for double quotes, or other solution is you can use single quote but you're using escape characters. And the next thing is about raw string. So raw string, what happens? You are adding r before the beginning of the string, that is quotation. So in that case what happens? Escape characters will be printed as it is. It's not going the action part is not done of the escape character, but instead it will be printed as it is. Then in multi-line you can go for you can either write it as three single quote or you can go for three double quotes wherein multiple lines you can have, and that is for the comment also. and the indexing, using the index you can refer any particular character, and you're also speaking about the slicing wherein you're specifying the range. And in and not in operator, again the same concept what you have learned in list. So in and not in operator is going to return either a true or a false value if the item what you want to search, or if the value what you want to search is there in the string. In this case string we are speaking. In case of list we are saying it as item. If it is there, in operator is going to return true, otherwise in operator will return false. Whereas not in, if the item you are searching is not there in the list, then it is going to return true value. So this is what you have to tell about working for strings. Okay. Next we'll go to the next topic, that is useful string methods. So useful string methods, again in this topic we are going to learn about some of the string methods that we can use. So again these also already learned in your lower semesters, that is about upper, lower, is upper, is lower, and also you're going to see about is alpha num. So I think in your lower semesters we had learned till here, that is alpha and is alpha num. Some addition what you're going to see here is decimal, is space, is title. So whenever we say is, so is nothing but you're checking whether it is. So in that case it is going to return you the result in as a boolean value, either true or false. Okay. So we'll see each one of them. So the first thing what we are going to see is about upper and lower. So the upper and lower string methods return a new string where all the letters in the original string have been converted to either uppercase or lowercase respectively. Okay. So what is the meaning of this? If you have used upper, then in that case whatever characters are there in the original string, that will be converted to uppercase. Similarly, if you are given lower, it will be converted to lowercase. Any non-letter characters are there, then those will remain as it is. Okay. So we'll just see with an example. So okay, we'll just see with an example here. So spam. So just see here, you have given upper. So the result is displayed in the uppercase letter. But you just check what is there in spam. In that case, you have the original value, that is hello world, which is in lowercase. So what we are saying here is, so this method, it is not changing the string itself, but what does it do? It returns a new string value. Okay. So your original string is not changed. It's only returning a new string value. So if you want the original string to be changed, in that case, you can write it this way. If you want to change the original string itself, then spam is equal to spam dot upper. Now in this case, you just check spam. So in the previous case, what happened? Your string was not changed. It is only returning you a new value. Now you want to change the complete string. So in that case, you should assign it to that particular variable. Now you see in spam what happened. You have it in uppercase letter. But previously what was there? It was as it is. Okay. So you can do it this way. Similarly, you can also do for lower. Now what happened in spam, you have in uppercase. Now you want to convert it into lowercase, so you can use spam dot lower. So it's going to convert to lowercase letters. So we'll just check whether it is done. So you can see it is converted to lowercase letters. Okay. So This upper and lower, so you have a program, example program, we'll just see. So this uppercase and upper and lower methods are helpful whenever you want to make some case insensitive comparisons. So here you have an example program for this. So just see in this program, you are asking for some input from the user. That is, you are asking how are you. So if the user has entered, that is, he might enter great, but he might use G, he might use in uppercase letter, R he might use in uppercase letter, and after that EAT he might write in lowercase. Okay, in that case even that has to be considered as great, or it should be accepted as a valid input. So that in such cases this will be helpful, that is, lower and upper will be helpful. So we'll just see an example here. So just see here. So first we are asking the user for some input. That is, you're asking the user how are you. So I will type this way. I will type GRE and I will write AT in lowercase. Okay. GRE in uppercase and AT in lowercase. I'll hit submit. So now what is the next statement? So you can see here in this feeling, I have this particular input, that is GRE in uppercase and AT in lowercase. So next statement, what does it do? If feeling dot lower, so what is happening? It is converting it into lowercase letter, because the comparison here we are using with lowercase RET. So if it is equal, now in this case it is equal, right? Because it is converted to lowercase. So I'm going to get a result as I feel great too. Otherwise, so we'll just check the other possibility. So I will give some other input. I'll give some other input. In that case, what is the result you will be getting? You'll be getting hope the rest of the day is good. Okay. So this is a situation or an example which you can tell for where you can use the lower or upper method. Okay. Other than this, next you also have is upper, is lower method will return the true, will return a boolean true value if the string has at least one letter and all the letter in uppercase. Similarly, you also have other yeah, that we'll see later. So we'll just see an example for this is upper. Okay. So again, I'll give in spam what I have. In spam, I have hello world. So I'll just check spam dot is lower. I'm checking whether in spam I have lowercase letters. Okay. So you can see in spam I have lowercase letters, so it is returning true value. Similarly, spam dot is upper. In that case, what happens? It is going to return a false value. Okay. Similarly, I can also give it this way. So if I'm giving HELLO, in that case is upper. So in that case, it should return a true value. Okay. And if I'm giving something like 123 dot is lower, in this case, it will return a false value. Okay. Because it is a digit. So these are the example what you can give for is upper and is lower, in which it is going to return either a true or a false value. And also it is possible for you to nest. Nesting concept is also there. So we'll just see with an example. HELLO, I will convert it to lower. So if I give lower, what happens? It will be converting it to lower. Now again, I'm checking whether it is lower, whether it is in lowercase. So what is happening? I have written the string in uppercase. When I use dot lower, it is going to convert it into lowercase. And the next thing is I'm using is lower. Is lower is going to check whether your string is in lowercase. If it is true, If it is, then it is going to return a true value. So now in our case it is true. Okay, so this way you can use this upper, lower, as well as is upper, is lower. Okay, one more example we'll just see. You are converting again to lower, and again you're converting it into upper. So just see what happens. Here you have a string which you are converting it into uppercase. So everything will be converted to uppercase, and again you're converting it into lowercase, and again you're converting it into uppercase. So just see here, final result will be in the uppercase. So this way you can use nested of your methods. Okay, and the next one you have is extreme. So we already saw about is lower and is upper, wherein you're checking whether it is in uppercase or lowercase. Other than that, you can also check for is alpha num, is decimal, is space, is title. So when you say is alpha, this is going to return true if the string consists only letters and not blank. In that case it will going to return true. Similarly, is alpha num, it is going to return true if the string consists of only letters and numbers are also allowed but not a blank space. Whereas decimal is going to return true if the string consists of numeric characters and not blank. Okay, and whereas a space is going to return true if the string consists of only spaces, or you can have tabs, or you can have new lines. And finally you have is title. In this case it will return true if the string consists of words that begin with first character, that it should begin with one uppercase letter. The first character should be an uppercase followed by only lowercase letter. So first character should always be an uppercase, and after that again if you have some uppercase anywhere, then in that case it will return false, otherwise it will return true value. So we'll just see the example one last. So hello, you're checking whether it is alpha, is alpha. So in this case hello is alpha, right? So it is going to return a true value. Similarly, if I'm giving hello 123 dot is alpha num, in this case what happens, you're having alphabet as well as number, right? So in this case it will return true. Similarly, if I'm giving 123, it is a decimal, is decimal, yes it is true. If I'm saying hell, in this case it is going to return a false value. Okay, similarly is space. So when I say space, I have to give a space there, and I'm checking is space. So this should return a true value. Okay, now the final one is title. So title, what did we say? The first character should be a capital word. This is a title. Dot is title. So in this case it is going to return you is title. So this is a title. The first character should be a uppercase letter followed by any number of lowercase letters. So we'll just check out this is title. So you have an error here. That is because I have used double quotes here. Okay. So you can see this is a false value. Okay. So first character should be capital one, and after that you can have any number of lowercase letters. In that case, it will return you a true value. So I guess it is time. We'll continue with this again tomorrow in the next class. Okay. So thank you all. Thank you.